We are following this breaking news at the top of the hour. One Duke Energy worker has died while working on a power line in northwest Charlotte this morning. We know part of North Hoskins Road is closed. OSHA is investigating right now. Fox 46's Jamal Goss live on the scene with the latest developments. Jamal.
Paige, right now, police are on scene investigating after Fox 46 saw what appeared to be a utility worker being electrocuted and then catching on fire. Medic has confirmed that one person did die on scene. I want to give you a live look now at the scene because this has been a very tragic moment for people who live nearby and for Duke Energy crews working on a power pole near here. Crews were working to repair a power pole around 5:30 this morning after someone ran into it earlier. Fox 46 saw what appeared to have been a Duke Energy worker who fell back from the pole moments after an explosion happened. We believe it's a Duke Energy worker, but we are still working to have that confirmed. Right now, as you mentioned, a portion of North Hoskins Road is blocked up between Beatty's Ford Road and Tennessee Avenue. We also know that about 500 people are without power, and right now crews are working to restore power lines. Reporting live this morning, I'm Jamal Goss, Fox 46, getting results.
46's Chuck Rhodes has been monitoring this situation all morning long. Let's take it over to him right now. Chuck, what's the latest in terms of getting people around this area? What do they need to know?
Well, let's talk about it. Let's go right here to North Charlotte, Northwest Charlotte, if you will, the Wilson Heights neighborhood. Let's avoid, if you will, Hoskins Road between Beatty's Ford and Chesapeake Drive. You can use Caps Hill Mine Road. You can also consider using I-85 as an alternate route, both north and southbound, especially drive a larger truck, a little easier to get through. But it's probably at least going to be another hour before they open up Hoskins Road, right around Maple Grove Drive. Avoid it using 85 or Caps Hill Mine Road as an alternate route. Folks, I've got another closure. I want to go here a little further north. Folks, I've got the section of Statesville Road closed near Verhoff. That's in between Mount Holly Huntersville and Hambright Road. Use Old Statesville or I-77 and avoid this section of Statesville Road, also known as US 21 near Verhoff Drive. They're clearing up a fire situation in that area. We'll keep you posted on both incidents in real time. You stay right here with Good Day Charlotte. Paige, back to you.
All right, thank you, Chuck. Be sure that you download the new Fox 46 app to follow the very latest developments in this and all breaking news. We'll continue to send you updates on air and online at fox46.com. Welcome into the 8 o'clock hour here this Wednesday morning of Good Day Charlotte, folks. I'm Paige Failing. Brigida Mack here with us. We'll have news from her from home this morning in just a few minutes. And Nick Koser here with us now with a look at the weather. Nick, kind of what we've been used to this week so far, huh?
Yeah, this is very standard June stuff. Summer stuff, really, even July and August. Do want to start you off here with Tropical Depression Dolly. It's going to continue to push north and east away from the United States. So it was a tropical storm yesterday. It's now been downgraded. In any event, it's not going to be a big issue for us here. All right, so I want you to pay attention to these dew point readings. The higher the number, the more humidity there is in the atmosphere. And storms, kind of like hurricanes, tropical systems, use humidity as fuel in the atmosphere. So it's a little more humid down here where we're seeing readings in the 70s. You get further north, that 5-degree drop makes all the difference in the world. So as a result, if we see storms out there today, they would likely be south of I-85. Some more showers and storms will move through tomorrow, but they won't pack the punch that we could see with some of these storms here later on today. And then once we're done with this rain on Thursday, we should stay dry for a good chunk of the 7-day forecast, which I'll show you here in just a bit, with the full details coming up here in about 10 minutes. So stick around for that. For now, let's get it back over to Paige at the desk.
Happening right now in Charleston, South Carolina. Crews working to remove this statue now of former Vice President and slave advocate John C. Calhoun from the downtown square. Calhoun reportedly had about 80 slaves himself. One council member says it's time to replace that monument with a Statue of Unity. The statue will eventually find a new home at a site where it will be protected and preserved. And Fox 46 covering news in Gaston County now, back and forth between commissioners there on whether or not a Confederate statue outside the courthouse will be taken down there. The county's attorney said there are only 3 ways legally that this statue can now be removed: temporarily for a construction project, if it was in danger of being destroyed, or if a building inspector deemed it unsafe. Commissioners spent more than an hour listening to people on both sides pleading their case last night.
Martin Luther King and Confederate soldiers both cannot be heroes. They had two opposite things going on.
It's nothing about race. I don't know why everybody wants to make it a race issue when it's really not.
Commissioners decided to come up with a committee to learn more about its history, explore legal options, and have an open debate about what should happen to the statue. It could be months before the issue goes before the board. New this morning, the last and biggest piece of a Confederate monument in downtown Raleigh removed late last night. Crews there got there overnight Monday to restart the process that began a few days ago, first by protesters, then later under an order by Governor Roy Cooper. And happening today, Governor Cooper is expected to make an announcement on mandating face masks and the future of moving into phase 3. Fox 46's Ann Wyatt Little live with the details on whether or not, or I guess I should say Ann Wyatt, the likelihood on whether or not either of those things will happen.
Well, good morning, Paige. The governor strongly hinted last week that a face mask mandate could be coming, but we expect to get details today at 3 o'clock. That's when the state COVID-19 task force will be holding a news conference. So we expect to learn more about that and whether we move into phase 3, which is scheduled to happen on Friday. But Mecklenburg County leaders are not waiting around for the state. Last night in a 7-2 vote, they moved to have county staff draw up a face covering order. Right now, it's really not clear exactly what that language looks like, but officials say it could be similar to requirements for face masks and face coverings in other parts of the state like Raleigh or Orange County. We spoke with one business owner, Michael Brawley, who owns Brawley's Beverage. He says he has no problem turning someone away who isn't wearing a mask because he's doing it to protect his employees and customers, but believes the state may need to step in because there are some people who simply just aren't doing that. And we've also learned that Mayor Vi Lyles is also encouraging the governor to put a mandate in place. So again, that announcement will be coming this afternoon at 3. We will bring that to you live on air and online at Fox 46. Reporting live, Ann Wyatt Little, Fox 46, getting results.
Fox 46 wants you to sound off on this today. So the question for you, do you think Governor Cooper should issue a statewide mask mandate? Call us with your answer on the Fox 46 Sound Off hotline. That number, 704-944-3448. Here's what some of you have said so far.
How else is the coronavirus going to slow down if people don't follow health precautions?
Yes, I think it should be mandatory that you wear face masks. I have lost family members due to COVID-19, and people's not taking this as serious as it's going to be. I moved from New York in January, and I moved January 31st, and as soon as I moved, I got sick, but it won't corona. I thank God for that. But yes, masks should be mandatory.
Well, what's a mask going to do if you don't trust in the good Lord above? Because the good Lord's the only one that's going to protect you, but a mask sure ain't. But it's your time to go, it's your time to go. I firmly don't believe in using the mask.
You still have time to call in. That number again, 704-944-3448. New this morning, the North Carolina General Assembly finalized yet another attempt to reopen more businesses. That measure was sent to Governor Cooper on Tuesday. It would prevent his executive order limiting outdoor gatherings from stopping July 4th parades or fireworks. Amusement parks, wedding reception venues, and fairs would be the latest allowed to reopen in that bill. And right now, the families of the victims in the Beatties Ford Road shooting need your help to get results for their loved ones. Fox 46's Amber Roberts joining us live now from West Charlotte with one father's plea. Amber.
Paige, it's been 48 hours since the shooting that took place here on Beatties Ford Road in this West Charlotte community. It started out as a block party and then it turned deadly and there were mass casualties. People have been stopping by the street where this incident took place, creating makeshift memorials. And this morning, families of the victims need your help and they're leaving messages to make sure you don't forget about their loved ones. Some of the victims have had their names written on the ground. There are signs, there are balloons, and other displays that memorialize the victims. One of those victims is Darion Stevenson, and we spoke to his father, who shared more about his son and his hopes for what happens next.
31, taking care of 3 kids, and just working and trying to do the right thing, which makes it even more tragic. Still need to tell what you know. There's no code that is of ethicalness when you're talking about someone being murdered and no one wants to talk about it when there's over 400 people there.
More than 100 rounds were fired into a crowd of 400 people. Darion is among the roughly dozen victims shot at or hit by cars during Monday's chaos. He is the fourth person to die. And this morning, 2 days later, his family and police continue to beg for people to come forward with information that could lead them to the shooters. Police believe several guns of different calibers were used. Live back out here on Beatties Ford Road, you see that this memorial is one of many that spans across behind me on this street, and the memorials continue to grow this morning in honor of all of the victims. Live in West Charlotte, I'm Amber Roberts, Fox 46, getting results.
New details this morning, the FBI completing its investigation into the noose that was found in Bubba Wallace's garage stall. As Fox 46's Doug McElway reports, the FBI says no hate crime was committed.
After a thorough investigation, the FBI determining NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace was not the target of a hate crime. Investigators releasing their findings in a statement Tuesday, reading in part, quote, "On Monday, 15 FBI special agents conducted numerous interviews regarding the situation at Talladega Superspeedway. After a thorough review of the facts and evidence surrounding this event, we have concluded that no federal crime was committed."
It is fantastic to hear from the FBI definitively that there was not a hate crime.
On Sunday, a noose was discovered hanging in Wallace's garage, prompting NASCAR to alert the FBI. The probe determining the noose was a pull-down rope for the stall, which was known to be there as early as 2019. None of the other stalls had a rope pull fashioned into a noose. The agency adding Wallace, NASCAR's only black driver, was only assigned the garage last week. Therefore, nobody could have known it would be reserved for him. This determination coming a day after the entire NASCAR community rallied around Wallace's car in a show of solidarity, bringing him to tears, and roughly 2 weeks after he successfully pushed for a ban of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events. NASCAR's president says they're conducting their own investigation into why a noose was hanging in the garage at all.
As we have stated unequivocally, there is no place for racism in NASCAR.
In light of the findings, no federal charges will now be filed. A private funeral held Tuesday for Rayshard Brooks. Brooks was shot by an Atlanta police officer back on June 12th. The funeral held at Atlanta's historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Martin Luther King Jr. served as pastor until his assassination in 1968. His daughter, Reverend Bernice King, spoke at the service along with several of Brooks's relatives.
Unfortunately, this leads to people making decisions that are damning, damaging, and destructive to human lives. We are here because individuals continue to hide behind badges and trainings and policies and procedures rather than regarding the humanity of others.
A police officer who shot Brooks has been charged with felony murder and is currently being held without bond. His bond hearing is supposed to be on Tuesday, but was postponed because it conflicted with the funeral.
Brigida Mack here. Racial injustice and controversy. So much going on right now. And it could have many parents wondering not only how, but if they should talk to their children about everything at all. We are breaking down some ways that you can educate your child and yourself at the same time. It's an important conversation. I hope you stick around for that. 8:13 on this Wednesday. We got to take a quick break, but we'll be right back.